and welcome tonight to Winner and the Mailman. And if you are a wrestling fan, our next guest needs no introduction as Jacob Awiszus from Gering. Welcome tonight to our the Winner and the Mailman podcast, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Oh well, I've had a long day, but it's not about me today. It's about you and the Gering High School wrestling team, and you guys have been in quite the gauntlet right away, right out of the chute this year. And tell me how the season's gone so far.
Individually, it's gone kind of pretty good. As a team, we kind of got roughed up a little bit week one. A few guys lost some matches they shouldn't have, but this last week going into break, we really made a statement, winning Sydney Bridgeport by over 130 points.
That was insane. that was crazy. And Jacob, you've been in this program, all 4 years of your career, and you watched a couple of really good wrestlers, leave. Now it's your turn to kind of take over. Tell me about this team this year. I mean, last year's state championship team, they were special, but I know that you guys got a lot of new kids out this year. You guys have got a lot of good potential out there this year. Tell me about this team so far this year.
It's a lot of learning for everybody. That a few of us were kind of learning how to be leaders in the room, trying to figure out the right way to lead for some of the guys. Some of the guys kind of don't take yelling at them quite as well. Some of them need the yelling to get motivated in practice. So we're learning how to kind of lead different ways, teaching a lot of technique. Got a lot of new guys that are trying to learn the sport. Then we got a lot of guys who have been around the sport a lot, and so they're trying to learn like higher level techniques. So there's that, and just this team is a lot different than any other team. It's a lot less serious, if I'm being honest. That
a little looser.
Yeah, a little looser.
A little more loose.
That we still have the weight on our shoulders, kind of returning state champs, but it's not nearly as like tight and strict or whatever. We're just a bunch of goons out there going out there wrestling every match.
And if you're a wrestling fan and you know anything about Gering, when he talks about being yelled at, any of us old timers know about Chuck Dieter. And I know you young guys have heard plenty about Coach Dieter, and there was nothing loose about Coach Dieter as far as Gering wrestling went. Now you talked about taking over your role as a leader in the wrestling room, and I know, in that upper weight, you got some new guys up there too that you probably have to, Sam Rushlow, and you got guys like Javen Dorador, and you guys got guys like that, little inexperienced, been around the sport a little bit, but how is it to take what you've got and work with them?
Kind of teach them a little bit of everything. I have to practice with Sam every now and then and stuff. That a little bit of a weight difference, probably about 60 pounds, but we gotta introduce him to some new styles. He's got to figure out what works for him best, and so he's working with Colin, Randy, me, Brock. We're working him in with a lot of different people, a lot of different styles. Just kind of seeing if he can pick up what, and then same with a lot of the new guys, that trying to see what they can pick up. That I'm wrestling with a lot of different guys this year. I have no set partner every day. That I'm rolling around with just everybody in the room. I'm rolling around with 45, 52 pounder up to our heavyweight. So.
Well, and that's the way it goes. That's the way the wrestling room goes. Brianna, you've got to watch these guys. You've got to watch, since you've been here, you've got to watch these Gering boys go, haven't you?
Just the one day I came with you.
The one day you came with me, the one day that Jacob did not have a match.
And we talked about it beforehand, too. But obviously the goal is to win state again, or at least get there. So, what are you looking forward to as the season progresses, since I know it's still really early in the season?
I'm hoping to break a couple records kind of as the season goes along. It's very possible I end up breaking the pin record for season and career. That if I get 34, I end up getting both of them, and so that'll break Nate's. And I think he had 32 or 33 in a season,
somewhere
and
around there,
106 career, and so that'll put me just right above him on that one. Then hoping stay undefeated kind of as the year goes along, and it's very possible to happen. that it'll be tough, but it's not like it's not possible.
I know you're hoping just to wrestle, because I guess, like you were saying before, some guys just don't
Yeah,
want to go up against you.
Windy at the top of the hill, isn't it? You know, they don't want to wrestle you.
Yeah.
They know that name. I mean, then your name is pretty well known throughout this area. So yeah, I mean, if I had a chance to, you know, move up a weight to duck him, I'd probably do it too. You know, especially if you're.
But you
if
don't
you're
know
not
what you need to work on unless you go against the guy who's at
Well,
the top of the list.
It doesn't matter what you need to work on. It's that win and loss record. You know that you're trying to worry about in there, but you're right. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want to get better, you got to wrestle better, and that's the way it's got to be. What is your record right now?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Hey, no, that's a good wrestler.
No losses. That's all I know.
And how many pins do you think? All of them?
All but two.
All but
All
two.
but two.
All but two.
Oh no, all but three.
I think one of those was the North Platte.
One was North Platte. I won by like 4 or 5. One was in Cheyenne last week. I won by 7. Then won this last weekend. I teched the kid.
Mm-hmm. No, tech to me is good as a pin.
Okay.
It's 15 points.
Okay.
So, okay.
21 to 6.
We're working with
Yeah.
Brianna on this one. You know, looking across the wrestling landscape in Class B, who's out there that you're kind of keeping an eye on as far as, you know, I don't know if they released any rankings yet. Okay, I haven't been paying much attention to it. I keep track of you guys.
I believe
and
he's
that's about
third
it.
in his weight class, in Class B, based on media, I think.
I think media, yeah. All the other polls, I'm 1.
Okay. What's wrong with that darn media?
I don't know. I got sent the list. I'm gonna know.
So to answer my question, who are we looking at in the state that you're kind of keeping an eye on?
That we've got Brecken Papanow, Aurora.
Okay.
That he's coming down from 195, third place medalist last year, 195 Class B. That moving down a weight class to kind of fill out his lineup a little bit better for his team. That teammate Mac Owens was runner-up at 182, but can't quite make the descent down this year, so they're gonna.
So Mac couldn't make the weight, huh?
And so they're gonna flip-flop there. And then Deegan Nelson of Beatrice that practices with the guy that I've wrestled several times. I've beat him each time, but he's got a little bit different style than his partner does, so that one's got me a little bit there, but it's very beatable style, very opposite of how I wrestle, so it
those guys
favors
back
my
east, they don't
style.
have anything on us, so we no, they don't have anything. You know, their basketball teams and those things, they may have something on the western half of the state, but this is, you know, historically the western half of the state has done well. You know, going back east and wrestling back east, and you know, let's look a little closer to home team wise. I mean, you're looking across the river there to Scotts Bluff, and that's a pretty powerful team right now. And you know, I know you're looking at individual stuff, but you also want your team to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, you look at last year's state championship, you guys didn't have a state champion. That's just how well you guys wrestled through that tournament. And, you know, is that a possibility to do it again this year? I mean, obviously you're in the mix to win a state championship, and the little guy, I can't remember his name. Ashton Dane. I apologize, Ashton. But, you know, you guys are probably looking, you know, pretty good as far, but the rest of the team filled out. I mean, what's it going to take to get this team through districts?
We got to get a lot of guys to make it to state. That we have a lot of really good potential in the room. At 6, Ashton, possible champ. At 13, Jordan Shirley, he's a possible champ at state. 20s, not sure quite yet who's going to be the guy come that time around. 26, 32, same story. 38, AJ Stone. We should see him kind of on the medal stand this year, hopefully closer to the top. 45, Brayson Hacker, we should see him be qualifier, close to placing, hopefully on the medal stand. 52, Keenan Allen, he should be probably a placer this year. 60, Carmelo Timblin, he should be qualifier, possibly placer. 70, David Campos should be hopefully qualifier. 82, me. 95, Gorsuch should be a placer. If he wrestles this match, he can definitely be a placer.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got the talent to do it.
220, Colin, he's definitely up there, actually in the mix for the title right now. That bump up from 160 last year, and he's looking at winning a title right now. Then heavyweight Sam, he's looking at placing, just natural athlete.
Yeah.
Been around it so long, just hasn't wrestled for a
I was
while.
gonna say he's so much bigger than his brother. I mean, can you imagine trying to wrestle around in that house? I mean, he's so much bigger than Nate that, you know, I'm sure he picked up a lot from his brother, but I mean, obviously, and you know that, and that's just the thing. I mean, you guys, one of the main things you guys got to do is fill these weight classes. And you know, we're seeing a lot of teams around here that aren't quite filling on the Alliance, shattering. These teams are, you know, they're giving up 5 opens in, you know, from right now, from what I can see, Scottsbluff and Gering are the ones filling their weight classes, and I think that that's half the battle. I mean, wouldn't you agree? Because you have that opportunity. I don't know. I don't know if do you guys have to certify anymore?
Yeah.
All right. When do you guys have to do that? After Christmas?
We certified our weights actually right before Thanksgiving. Kind of told us our
Oh, okay.
plans for the whole
So,
year.
but you certified, but you can still move.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still move weight classes until districts.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and in order to fill out that team, you know, all 14 weight classes, you got to be able to move kids around.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be able to do that. So, you know, Brianna, you've got to watch these kids. Or you haven't got to watch these kids much. I mean, what do you got for Jacob? That, I mean, we know his potential, you know, but.
Well, I'm going to go to next year for a second. So now that you've actually signed with a school, is that pressure kind of gone now that you know where you're going to go next year?
Kind of yes and no. That I get a lot of questions about Kearney now, but
I was at your signing,
yeah.
so.
But I don't have to worry about the pressure of kind of figuring out where I'm going quite next year, but I got to worry about the pressure of everyone knows that I'm the Kearney commit, and so everyone's like, I want to beat him.
Yeah, well, then that's
a challenge they have to overcome.
That is a challenge. One thing that Jacob does off the mat is he works for Mike Moravec up there, and when I blew my ankle out, I got to see you quite a bit this year. How involved in the physical therapy and the training and the athletic training and stuff, is that what you want to go into as you as you move on? Is that something you're going to do at Kearney?
Yeah.
Okay, well he's very good at it. All I know is that, you know, my ankle's great. These guys, I think I got to work with you once. I think I was working with someone else throughout the whole thing, but you know, that's one thing that he's got going for him. And you know, wrestling at Kearney, I mean, it's a D2 school. It's a very good school. Do you know of any other commits in the state have you been kind of keeping up with each other?
I don't know if there's any other in the state of Nebraska that this year is going to be going to Kearney quite yet.
Okay. Well, a good friend of mine coaches the high school team over there, and his name is Ty Swarm. And, you know, that's one thing that we've always seen these Kearney kids want to go get involved with the high school kids and work out with Ty and those guys over there. Is that something that you'd want to do, or are you going to try and do some athletic training and stuff while you're over there, like with the high school stuff and that kind of stuff?
Gonna try to, yeah.
I see. What else do you got for Jacob here?
I mean, you're going to be at North Platte this next week.
Yeah.
So they kind of looking for a rematch against you, especially in that weight class?
I think so, yeah, probably. That I've wrestled him a lot throughout the years. I've been on teams with him a lot throughout the years. That pretty good friends, and I think that we'll get that same match again. Hopefully, a little bit different outcome for us, a little bit bigger win.
So.
Talk about off-season type stuff. You getting wrestling a lot of off-season, doing a lot of off-season traveling.
This year,
yeah,
I'm not sure quite yet what all I'm gonna do. That I know I've got to go down to Kearney for a couple camps and stuff like that over the summer, but don't know quite yet what all traveling I'm gonna be doing this summer.
Let's talk a little bit about your coaching staff and Coach Berger. You know, and I always like to brag about this because it makes me feel pretty good, but I remember when Coach Berger came in, he came in and did an interview with me, and I stood outside and talked with him for a little while, and I said, I think we're going to finally see a state champion out of this school. And lo and behold, that happened last year. And it made me feel like a genius, but anyway, Coach, I've known Coach Berger since he wrestled, and the rest of that coaching staff in there. How important are those guys with you guys?
A lot. That I don't think we'd be anywhere near where we're at anybody as a team. That what they bring to the table, we've got 3 different styles in there right now, and so all of us kind of pick up what we want out of each style. We all see the same stuff, all kind of absorb it differently. That they work with us individually, and I don't think with those 3 styles each that we've got Brock that just so strong and powerful.
Brock's an animal.
That Jared is very good at just the basics.
He's a very technical wrestler.
And then Randy
is
funky.
Randy's got that. And Randy's more your size. So do you get to tie up with Randy a lot in practice? He's teaching you some of that upper. I know he was a hell of a Greco-Roman guy. He's teaching you some of that. That weight distribution, that upper body strength type of stuff.
Not really, honestly. I go with Brock a lot.
You go with Brock?
I actually practice with Brock most nights. That him and I just almost the whole practice most nights that we'll drill together. He'll break some stuff down for me, kind of show me different things that the rest of the team doesn't see, whatever, right? Or then he'll show afterwards, and then I'll wrestle live with him. That way I can get a real live look and don't win in there. I can't get better if I'm winning every match in there. So got to bring Brock in and just beat me up and kind of help me get there. That I'm not getting better winning. I'm getting better by getting beat up, losing every night in there.
Well, for those who don't know, Brock Smith, 3-time state champion at Gering, and I always kind of equivocated him to like tying up with a big ball of barbed wire. The guy's strong. He's quick. He's smart. He knows what he's doing out there. I grew up on the mat with a 3-time state champion myself, so I know what it's like to go out there and tangle with one of those guys every single day. And obviously it does make you better. You pick up a lot of things. You learn a lot of things. You can use your style along with his style, and you can kind of intertwine the two. And so I can only imagine what it's like having Coach Berger, Coach Smith, and Coach Donaldson in there, because I know when Randy was at Mitchell, he did a great job there. And I know he does a great job in Gering. And like I say, Coach Berger's just Coach Berger.
Yeah.
So that in a nutshell is Gering wrestling. I think it's kind of, I think people want to say Gering wrestling's back. And like I said, you're not old enough to remember what I know about the old Gering wrestling, but perennial, dual champions, state champions. These guys would produce state champions out of guys you never in your wildest dreams would have thought, and I think you're seeing that come back quite a bit. Would you agree?
Yeah.
You guys about ready to put another banner in the ceiling?
Yeah.
Brandon, do you got anything else for Jacob?
No, I don't. Do you?
Well, one thing I want to say is I want to thank all of our athletes and coaches that we've had on Winter in the Mailman so far this year. It's been a great year. We want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And good luck. We're going to be keeping an eye on you and the rest of the Gering wrestling team. And obviously, go get them, buddy. Go get that state championship, and we'll be right there for you.
Now, is there anything you want to add?
No. I
I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, well, like I said, the last winner of the Mailman of the year, and you got it. You're the man. So Jacob Awiszus, thank you for coming in tonight, and thank you for being part of our show.
Thanks for letting me be on it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We wouldn't have wanted anybody else, and go get them.
Thank you all for watching, especially for these last few months.
Yeah.
So for more sports coverage, pick up a copy of the Star-Herald or go to star-herald.com. Have a good holiday.